You're right, that's not cool. You can kick off the spoiler season and you don't have any champions for 5 days and then you release 2 in a row. Please bear with us, people who aren't 24/7 at the PC and can react to the champions. And with that, I welcome you and greetings, freaks and folks. This is Vlad to another champion reveal we have today, and it's actually the champion I was most excited about. That's why I'm even more angry in this very moment, because normally I want to react directly when the champion hits, but I couldn't, so I do it 1 hour later. But with that out of the way, let's actually start the reaction to the video here. If you like this content, you can show this to YouTube. That would be awesome. And now we go.
Hot on the trail.
Oh, and by the way, I guess she is from Piltover and Zaun because she's from Piltover, and also I predict that she will be a 3-mana champion with quick attack. Just want to say that. Oh no. Ha! I was right. 3 mana and quick attack. And also she has a 3/3 body, so it's basically a Draven from the stat line and effect wise. And she has a strike effect which has plant 2 flash bomb traps randomly in the top 10 cards in the enemy deck. Level up, 5 of his traps have been activated. Alright, so she has a level up condition that's beyond her to see it, so she levels in the deck. If we have the opportunity to put flash bombs in the enemy deck without her being on the board, or without her in general. But let's see on here what these flash bombs actually do. Oh, more elusives, okay.
Let's investigate.
Let's investigate. Oh yeah, there was a follower with bombs. Whoa!
Too far gone.
I don't know what these bombs do yet, but it did 2 damage to the flame chamber there. We have a 4-mana 3/4 here. It's a Justice Reiter, and it says whenever your opponent draws, plant 1 flash bomb trap randomly in the top 10 cards in your deck. Whoa! Alright, so another, yeah, I mean, this is a Piltover only deck, I guess, because I only see Piltover cards here. Meaning we have more traps besides the buff caps that we have from Teemo, which are considered to be traps now. And we also have this 6-drop for this scout dude that will double up the trap activation. So yeah, more trap synergy for PNZ. I'm done for that. Let's go.
Just outside the station.
Stay on him. Backup's on the way.
The trap is set. Examining the evidence.
All right, what's it? I gotta see that. I need to see what happens. Both players draw 2. All right, a fast speed spell. Ooh, whoa. All right. I mean, this is basically Veteran Investigator on steroids, and as a spell. It also costs 3 mana like the Veteran Investigator. Oh no, the Veteran Investigator actually costs 2. So it's 1 more mana, but you get to draw 2 instead of 1. And it's a fast speed spell, so you can, like now, put this on a stack to then activate traps. More new followers, I guess. Alright, I guess the traps didn't help him in that case. Oh, another card there. Let's see that. Coup the Grace. How would you pronounce that? It's a 5-mana fast speed spell. It says place an enemy follower into the enemy deck, then your opponent draws 1. Alright, place an enemy follower into the enemy deck. That's sick, dude. That's sick as fuck. Like a 5-mana fast speed removal, like we saw yesterday, Poppy's spell being for 6 mana, put a follower on top of his deck. But this one is a clean removal, and you put it somewhere in the deck, so it's not even for certain that he will get it anytime soon back. I mean, he draws 1 instead, so he doesn't lose card advantage in that regard, but I mean, you remove something from the board, right? And it's a clean board removal for PNZ.
Tell them Caitlyn sends her regards.
Holy.
You and me, Fishbones.
And them.
Well, both of you are visiting headquarters. I aim to win, and my aim
Oh, here comes the level up.
is excellent.
Oh, holy, I love it. I love it so much. Why does she go from steampunk to like Secret Service style? What the hell is this? Alright, she gets the +1/+1 as usual, and on strike effect, plant 4 flash bomb traps randomly in the top 10 of the enemy deck, and deal damage to the enemy nexus equal to the number of traps you activate this round. Whoa. Alright, I mean, 4 flash bomb traps is way more than before. I mean, I think it was 2 before, right? If I remember correctly, let's actually see that. Yeah, it's 2 before, and then upon level up, it's 4 then. Alright, and it's actually dealing damage, but it's only if she strikes, right? Huh. I don't know how good this is. Let's see what the video tells us.
Karina,
So she actually
what
three
brings you
three
here?
bombs.
Business and pleasure show.
Oh, what? Another Karina? What? Karina Veraza? No. Karina Mastermind. Plant 5 flash bomb traps. So there are actually a lot of followers that can plant flash bomb traps into the enemy deck. And it's something that goes on stack, is 6 mana 5/5, and it says plant those 5 traps in the top 5 cards of the enemy deck. So it's not the top 10 cards, it's actually the top 5 cards, which is a lot.
Karina, what brings you here?
But wait. Oh, and it's or activate the effects of all traps in the top. Alright, I read that wrong. So you either plant 5 flash bomb traps onto the top 5 cards, I think, or randomly into the enemy deck, or you
Business and
let's see, this is so confusing. Okay, so either plant 5 flash bomb traps randomly into the enemy top 5 cards. So it's the top 5 cards, like I said in the first place, or you activate the effects of all traps in the top 5 cards in the enemy deck. Alright, so I guess a flash bomb trap puff cap deck is something to consider with that very card.
business and pleasure
It's very
show.
solid body for that, and you have a strong effect with it.
I must say,
But I yet have to
such a
see
fancy
what.
outcome.
Alright, I have yet to see what. Yeah, flash bomb traps do, right. Here it is. The flash bomb trap is deal 1 damage to random ally. Okay, so it's not. It's actually quite the opposite of a puff cap, right? So because a puff cap never deals any damage to the followers, it deals damage right to the nexus. And this does the exact opposite thing. It never damages the nexus, but instead you will get to remove little by little the enemy followers. How good is that? I mean, this is so weird because it takes Piltover into a control spot from that point on. Also, I don't think that this will count for Ezreal, because it says deal 1 damage to a random ally. I mean, it's a trap from yourself. You pull it from your deck, and then you get to activate this effect for yourself, like the enemy, and not you as a player. You just put the trap into it. So I don't think this will count as a reactivator for his level up. Yeah, but I mean, her level up condition is, I think, quite easy to achieve, considering all the other followers that we see here. All of them can put flash bomb traps into the enemy deck. And at this point, where she strikes afterwards, she will put 4 bombs into the enemy deck. And should you deal damage equal to the number of traps you activate this round. How good is that? I mean, this is just converting or putting the flash bomb traps as a puff cap as well, right? Really weird. Alright, then we have the Sting Officer, which is a 2 mana 2/1 elusive. We saw that beforehand. And upon extra strike, you plant 2 flash bomb traps into the top 10 cards. So it's always the top 10 cards, which is something to point out here, because puff caps normally get to put random into the whole deck. And the fact that this goes to the top 10 cards makes it way better than puff caps. But of course, you don't get to do damage to the nexus. Very hard to evaluate, especially the level up version of Caitlyn. I definitely love the animation, by the way. This was just a tits. I want to see that again.
I aim to win, and my aim is excellent.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see on. We have the Justice Reiter that we saw beforehand, the 4-mana 3/4. Whenever your opponent draws, you plant one Flashbomb Trap, so it obviously has a lot of synergy with all the enemy draws cards, right? Like the Insider Knowledge that we saw in the video, and also the Veteran Investigator. So every time you force your enemy to draw, you can make use of the Justice Rider. I mean, I definitely like this approach, that you have sort of a weird random board control mechanic here. And yeah, but I don't know yet how good this is. I mean, if the enemy has something like tough, or if the enemy has really thick bodies or regeneration, you don't really do much with these Flashbomb Traps. And also the fact that it goes randomly on any follower makes it really hard to evaluate. I think this is something that you have to play before you can really evaluate how good this is. Yeah, but I talked about Coop the Grace, however you pronounce that already. This is just, I think this is probably the best cards out of all of these. Also, Insider Knowledge has a lot of potential because it has so many implications. You can put this in Mushroom decks, you can put this in these Flashbomb Trap decks. You can even use this as a draw 2 for yourself. I mean, if you ran out of steam, maybe the enemy has a control deck and the full hand anyways, you make him overdraw with that. Yeah, a lot of neat things you can do with that. And yeah, we already talked about Karina Mastermind. This puts 5 Flashbomb Traps, or you activate all the traps in the top 5 cards. So a versatile thing in that sense. I think if you run Caitlyn, you probably will run every one of these followers, because they even curve out, like mana 2, mana 3, mana 4, mana 6. Man, I don't know how I feel about Caitlyn. It feels a bit disappointing. I wanted her to have something cooler. I don't know. Maybe Flashbomb Traps are a lot of fun, and I will play her a lot. We'll see about that. But from now point on, especially the leveled up version is kind of underwhelming to me. Like, you have to make the enemy draw before you actually get to strike with her and get a lot of impact with her and actually damage the enemy core. Yeah, and she doesn't get any more keywords. You just stay with the quick attack. It's debatable. Alright, gladly I hopped onto Mobalytics. There are even more cards to talk about, because yesterday I missed out on the Keeper's Verdict, actually, that I talked about earlier in this video. I didn't talk about it yesterday because it wasn't revealed in the video from Poppy, where you can put a enemy follower on top of the enemy deck. I think that's a very fair card. I said this in the comment below the last video, and I stay with that. So this is nor overpowered nor very bad. It's just, I don't think you would main deck this. It's probably good if you have a Poppy and draw a second copy of her, and you have to get rid of a very big unit. But I also said that this is nothing that Poppy really needs. I think Poppy would have needed a signature spell that gives her HP, and I think this is her biggest problem, that you want to attack with her on, and you actually can't protect her. She doesn't have quick attack, she doesn't have tough or anything. She will lose HP over time. Alright, then we have the advanced intel reveal from today, which is a 1-mana burst speed main deckable. And it says plant 2 flash bomb traps into the top cards of the enemy deck. I don't think this is any good. Reason being, for 1 mana, you just put 2 bombs into the enemy deck, and you lose a card from that. So this is like the puff cap. How is it called even, the 1 mana burst speed puff cap that you can even main deck, but it's get also generated from the little weasel and also the chump wump, where you get 2 puff cap cards. There you want to use it, but you actually need something to create the advanced intel as opposed to actually main deck this and play this. I think you would almost never play this. Especially because the puff caps are even stronger than the bombs in terms of power level. You get to kill the Nexus instead of units. Yeah, pretty bad card, nothing more to say in my opinion. Then we have a 2-mana burst speed ambush, which is give a unit +2 attack this round, already pretty good. If you've added +2 cards to your hand this round, give it elusive this round. This is pretty sick. A 2-mana elusive. Like, we have this 2-mana Grand elusive, but also giving the +2 attack is a big deal in that regard. Because elusive most of the time means that you will run through anyways. This is a +2 to the enemy nexus, potentially most of the time. And creating, like adding 2 +2 cards to your hand this round, with all these cards that exist already in PNZ and also in, which came out for Bandle City. And I think it's pretty easy to activate this ambush effect and give actually elusive. And even if you are in a big trouble, you can use this +2 attack to play around Culling Strike, for example, or whatever you want to, or like win a fight, right? For 2 mana. You have a lot of combat tricks that get +2/+2 for 2 mana, for example, like Sharpsight. Here you get the elusive keyword instead. Yeah, pretty good card. I see this being played differently. And then we have the Station Archivist, which is a 3-mana 3/3, and it says play effect, pick a spell in the top 5 cards of your deck and create an exact fleeting copy of that in hand. Oh, that's nice. I mean, you give away a bit of information, right? That you will draw this card in the next 5 cards. But other than that, it's a 3-mana 3/3 draw a card, basically. But the thing is that it has fleeting, so you need to use it that very turn. Most of the time you want to bank spell mana, and if you want to play this on curve. I think most of the time you don't play this on curve because the opportunity to hit a spell that's costing more than 3 mana is too high. So I guess you probably want to play this later in the game. Yeah, but pretty good card for a removal deck. Like, you can play Get Excited, for example. You can play Mystic Shot, for example, if you have banked spell mana with that. I see this being good. I mean, the fact that it's in PNZ is maybe the most important fact here. Alright, and then we have Most Wanted, which is a not Need for Speed, but it's a 5-mana slow speed spell. Another epic card. Most of the time they're bad. Let's see. Pick a player to discard their lowest card to draw 3. Oh, never mind. This is... Ooh. I mean, this is a versatile card. It's slow speed, but you can make the enemy draw more cards to activate more traps, right? Path caps, and also this flash bombs. And also, if you are out of cards and you maybe have an X, for example, from Draven in hand, you just discard that and you draw 3 for 5 mana. It's a pretty good card. Yeah, definitely down for that. Most Wanted is actually a good epic. Alright, and then we have this follower that is also in the art from this spell. It's the Officer Squad, a 5-mana 4/5. And it says, when I'm summoned, create a Most Wanted in hand. And Most Wanted was... Oh, okay. So you can create this epic card from the Officer Squad upon summoning effect. I mean, the fact that the Officer Squad exists makes the Most Wanted a bit awkward. Like, what's the problem in Legends of Runeterra is that you have not that many draw cards. Or let's say cheap draw cards. So you have a hard time refilling your hand. And most of the time you want to have followers that create you spells to not lose card advantage. That's why you also have this Chump Womp Weasel, however it's called, the 2 mana as opposed to this 1 mana burst speed Puffcap card, because you get a 2/2 follower for it for 2 mana, and you get don't lose card advantage because you still get the Puffcap card in hand. And the fact that you have Officer Squad creating you this Most Wanted makes the Most Wanted itself a bit obsolete. Yeah, a 4/5 body is a really solid stat line for that mana, and you can trade into a lot of units with 4 drops and 5 drops. Yeah, that's a good card. Like, I think if you want to run Most Wanted, you will always run the Officer Squad instead. Alright, and to wrap up things, last but not least, we have the Piltover Peacemaker, which is, I think, a spell or a ability from Caitlyn and League of Legends. And it's a signature spell, which says, for 3 mana fast speed, deal 2 to an enemy and plant 2 flash bomb traps randomly in the top 10 cards. Deal 2 to an enemy. Like, is this a unit, or is it also the Nexus? Because normally it says deal 2 to a unit, right? And here it says deal 2 to an enemy, but I guess it's unit. And on top of that, you get +2 bombs into the enemy deck. I don't see this being any good. Gotta be honest. Like, maybe you want to play this as a signature card in certain scenarios, but main decking this 3 mana dealing 2 damage is pretty bad. I mean, you get to plant these flash bomb traps, and like I said, we have to experience how these work out, these flash bomb traps. Maybe it's a really reliable control tool, but like I said, the fact that it's random makes it weird. Alright, really a lot of cards today to talk about. Most of them, almost all of them, have something with flash bomb traps. I'm down for that, to try that out. I mean, I will definitely, even for style points, I will play Caitlyn for sure. I will play around with her. I actually hope that they do something different with her level up version to buff her a bit. I think she will end up being not that good, is my best prediction here. I could be totally wrong about the flash bomb traps, but I don't see them being very suppressive. We'll see about that. So thank you guys very much for sticking around. If you haven't already, you know the YouTube game. And other than that, I see you on the next champion reel, which is hopefully not tomorrow. But if it's tomorrow, we will see each other already tomorrow. So until then, you stay legendary. Blood out.